Peace and innumerable blessings. My name is Jeanette Jackson Lonsi, and welcome to the Yoga Council's video for March 29th to April 14th. So March 29th was a Libra full moon. The energy of this full moon goes for like another day, but it also passes on into the Aries new moon, which is April 14th. So the energy of this new moon challenged us to let go of old stories and to build, not to build new ones, but like it feels like a lot of us have some things, some projects that are really near and dear to our hearts that we're working on, that are really have alignment with our soul contracts and who we are and what we have to do here on earth. So the challenge is to really focus on those rather than moving forward and recreating who we are versus in staying with our old story and who we were. But the challenge of having an old story is oftentimes people expect us to stick to it because they know us in those ways. Or we expect ourselves to stick to it because there's something comfortable about what's old and what we've already experienced. Experiencing new things can be kind of challenging and scary. But if it's challenging and if it's scary, chances are you're going in the right direction. So despite what others expect of you, despite what you may be feeling, stick to your guns and remain authentic and courageous. So how do you bring this energy into your practice? First things first is be open to your practice shifting who you are, and be open to your practice constantly evolving. Meaning, try your best not to cling to your preferences around, I practice this way, or I practice this, or I don't practice that, or I can do this, or I can do that. Yoga is a constantly evolving and transforming practice. So allow yourself to be evolved and transformed through your practice. I say this a lot, but I'm going to say this again. Don't allow others' expectations of what your practice should be, or who you are as a yogi, or what yoga is to you to shape your practice, because your practice is your path, it's your transformation, it's your evolution, it's about you. It's not about what yoga journal says you should be doing with your SI joint. No, it's your SI joint. You have to feel what's right for you. It's a very personal, and it's a personal practice. It connects us with others, and it's helpful to have guidance and yada yada yada. But when it's all said and done, you're on the mat, and it's your practice. The mantra for this goodness for the next 2 weeks until April 14th is Om Shri Shukraya Namaha. Om Shri Shukraya Namaha. Om Shri Shukraya Namaha. 108 times for the next 2 weeks to April 14th until the Aries new moon. Yay! And anatomy wise, for classes, I've been focusing on the hips as the decision makers and the leaders. Why the hips? Ha ha ha. The hips are home to, well, the first and the second chakra, if you're talking about the whole basin of the hips. So you have the first two chakras there. The first chakra rules our purpose on earth. It's our responsibility, what we are specifically here to do. And the second chakra is home to our emotions, our receptivity, and our creativity. When you're guided by your own soul's purpose for incarnating on earth, and you're mindful of your emotions around what you're seeing and what you're experiencing in life, and you work from your purpose through your emotions and allow that to kind of guide you, everything else comes into alignment, and that's what I've been focusing on. So in order to experience that, we're going to play with Warrior 1 into Warrior 3. So on your mat, so for Warrior 1, you want the hips parallel with the, well, parallel to each other, thank God, and parallel with the front of the mat. So the left foot is going to come forward, the right foot is going to come back. When I practice Warrior One, I enjoy having the feet not one behind each other because it keeps my knees from tweaking out. It keeps like this inner muscle, this inner tendon from pulling and jerking my knees because I have flat feet, and that's my story, isn't it? Ah, that's my story. Because of my arches dropping, they kind of pull down anyway. Long story. The whole point of it is, if you're beginning yoga, have your feet in two different lanes of traffic, or if you don't necessarily work with the inner thigh muscles in the arch, two lanes of traffic. If you are happy with your arches and you have really strong line of energy running from the arch to the inner thigh, you can keep the feet one behind the other. Either way, you're going to focus on pulling the back hip forward, the front hip backwards. We're still in the hip basin and it's still like our leader. Engage your Mula Bandha. Ladies, that's your Kegel muscle. Gentlemen, it's your taint. Oh, Jesus. It's not your butt and it's not your balls. Just pull that up. It's at the bottom of your torso. Pull it up and in. From there, engage your Uddiyana Bandha, the core, the part of you that powers everything. Pull the belly button back towards the spine, up towards the heart. That'll lift the heart. And that'll extend the spine and allow it to be nice and supported. Once the foundation's right, the spine will naturally kind of extend. From here, pull the inner thighs towards each other on an inhale, kind of just pushing the feet down and pulling everything up together. Exhale, bend the front knee. See if you can stretch it out a little more. So to experience the hips as the leader and as the center a little bit more, inhale the arms up and begin to bring the shoulders in line with the hips, meaning the heel is one end and you want to bring the shoulders in alignment with the hips and the heel. You can feel the core supporting everything a little bit more here. To play a little bit more, inwardly rotate your back thigh. So bring the inner part of the back thigh, back towards you, lifting the heel. Decide with the hips that you're going to move into Warrior Three. So begin to bring the hips forward, lift the back heel, voila, you're in Warrior Three. Or some iteration of it, whatever makes you happy. Then come back down. And rest in pyramid or do whatever you want to do. You're having the same hip rotation as you did in Warrior One. Hips parallel with the front of the mat. Back hip moving forward, front hip moving back. Still Mula Bandha engaged, Uddiyana Bandha engaged. Just relaxing. And step forward, standing forward. So voila. Voila indeed. Those are my suggestions for tinkering with your practice and your mind for the next 2 weeks. So I'll see you soon, maybe next week. If you're in Montpellier, I invite you to come practice with me, Montpellier, France. Check out Yoga Montpellier for more information. Stay blessed. Peace.